Alright, welcome in everyone. My name's John and this is the Aussie Endurance Series. Tonight we've got the final round of the Hamilton RSL Porsche Cup Series. And we're at the Nurburgring combined. It's been a week of Nurburgring this week. With all the final rounds here.
Welcome to the last round. Let's have some fun. Good luck. Keep it clean. You don't anything to race control. And yeah, see you at the end. Don't turn your tyres off.
There you go, some good advice there.
Thanks, mate.
Alright, looks like we've got 12 drivers on track tonight, so it should be a good event. We'll probably see the cars space out quite a fair bit over the 8-minute track. But I'm hoping there'll be a few good battles along the way. Wednesday night was pretty clean. It was good to see the GT4s were able to keep it pretty tidy. Only 2 mishaps, I think, the whole race. Only 2 meatballs. So yeah, credit to all the drivers there. But these Porsche Cups are quite a bit harder to drive, especially around here with the undulation, the corner braking, etc. So we'll see how we go. Alright, as we grid up, we'll go through the order. So John Akers put it on pole with an 8:27.3. Nearly 2 seconds back was Joel Farley. On the second row, we've got Dean Reddit, alongside with Greg Levine, and then Jamie Fleming and Jacob Hughes. Then we've got Barry and Ellis, and here we go. Ready, set, and we are off. Good launch from John. Joel Farley dropped right down the order. Did not get a great start there at all. Looks like we're getting pretty clean through T1 here at the moment. Let's jump on a nice high camera. There's a bit of ducking and diving as we're too wide. Joel's getting shuffled all the way back as he tries to stay in it. He's got the inside run here now. As Tip Hancock finds his way through. Looks like we're all pretty clean so far. Plenty of track here in the GP circuit, so plenty of width left and right. Oh, as Matt Beatty's had a moment there somewhere. And Tim Mendelson make the move on Jacob. Oh, as he runs a bit wide there, we'll have to have a check on that one. Make sure that one's... Oh, that's a big moment. Oh, that's a huge moment. Alright, let's have to sort this one out.
Thanks for that.
Alright, we'll have to go into race control moment for a really quick moment.
Not the worst.
Alright, starts back here with Jacob. Let's take it further back. So Jacob's on the outside, Tim's up the inside. So Jacob and Tim. Jared flies out of the way to avoid them. So many got tangled up in here. Barry went off track, I think. I have to put this on chase. Okay, so Barry got clipped in that one. I think Jared just went off track to avoid. He did. Again. Barry got tangled up in a spinning car. And Tim obviously got punched from behind. Alright, let's start from the original here. Alright, so there's contact here with Tim up the inside. So not the best start to a long race. Tim's up the inside and gets on the brakes and then comes out wide a little bit there. So this is a tricky one to call. Let's jump on board with Tim. What's happened to Tim here now? Alright, so Tim has not left room for Jacob. Jim's run Jacob off the track. And then Jacob lost control. Alright, so there's a lot going on here. Let's get back onto the leaders quickly, make sure that we're all travelling well up the front there. Alright, so the only real losers out of this one is Jared and Barry. So they've been put well down the order. So what we might do after we get past the start-finish line, I can't throw a yellow. We didn't arrange to do any sort of virtual safety cars around here. So I haven't managed to knock this one up yet. Alright, so we're going to have to go through and get these guys checked up, get the guys who got tangled up caught back up again. Well, we'll wait for them to get to the straight at least. Alright, so John Akers put it on pole and he's still cruising out front. Joel Farley's managed to get back up to P4 with all the mishaps. So Joel was on the front row, but he dropped back on a slow start. Dean Reddit's managed to capitalise with Greg. Some funny camera angles around here. Alright. Joel's caught up and he's put the pressure back on Greg, so we'll see what happens here. Joel did really well on Wednesday night in the GT4. Let me crank down the volume here a little bit. There we go. Now you should be able to hear. Alright, Joel all over the back of Greg. Let's go and have a look at what Matt beat here. I'm not sure what happened to him at the start. Let's have a quick look what happened here. Looks like he just misjudged the corner and run wide. He kept going though. And then looks like he's kept on going. He's caught up to Axel and then misjudged the corner again and put himself into the fence. Alright, unlucky. Alright, Joel's made the move on Greg. Sorry, he's trying to catch up on the history of what was going on there. So Joel's made a good move there. Axel's also caught up to the back of Don in the two VGA cars. Let's see if Elias can make the move here and close the gap. Looks like Don's pulling away at the moment, but we'll have to see what happens. Looks like everyone's onto the back straight for the first time. Alright, we've still got a long race here to go tonight. Looks like Tim's out on track. No? Not sure what it's showing me there. Alright, we've moved back to our front runner. So John Akers at the moment up front. We could probably get a narrow view here on him. Onto the front straight for the first time. Coming back down to T1, so probably only going to get, at this rate, probably about 6 laps, maybe 7. Oh, his axle's really closing up on Don now. Looks like Tim's DNF. We'll see if Jacob comes back out on track. If he does, then we'll have a look at doing a virtual safety car, but at the moment we're going to keep cracking on. Yeah, very unfortunate start there. Nah, Tim. Alright, we've got Axel chasing down Don. The gap from Don to Jamie is quite big now, 32 seconds. So, massive bingle there. But Steen's still 1.7 off John Akers. So, first lap times 8:31, 8:33, 8:36. So, yeah, quite a difference in pace around here. That makes a big deal on how close the battles are going to be. Axel's all over the back of Don now on the GP circuit. Let's jump on board here and see what sort of pressure he can put on. Good mates these two, so they should be pretty good, pretty friendly with each other. Oh, Barry's had a moment. So Barry must have pitted to fix his damage. Let's have a real quick look at what happened to Barry just now. So coming down to the hairpin. Oh, around he goes. Unlucky. Easy mistake to make. Alright, let's jump back on board with Axel here. Oh, he gets a bit quick through there. As Jared also makes an incident behind. He keeps on going. So yeah, immediately we all end up with a very strung out train. This was very expected tonight. But we'll see if anybody can make the moves on anybody else throughout the night. Alright, let's head back up front. See, oh, right as a moment. As John Akers getting very sideways, obviously pushing hard. He's matching pace with Dean at the moment. There's not really much in it, although he did just give Dean a bit of time then. And Axel slowly closing the gap back up, but we'll keep an eye on that. As Joel Farley was qualified in Q2, he's still just cruising along. He's closing up the gap there to Dean. And then Greg's really dropped off the pace here a bit. So he hasn't got the pace of these faster boys, but he's still in it for a podium, that's for sure. Looks like Jamie Fleming's just had a moment. He's just cruising along nicely. And then we got Don and Ilias battling together. Oh, they've also got Jared Eastman closing in behind. So Jared's actually closed his gap quite a fair bit. He was over 3 seconds behind. Now he's only 1.5. So this should be a good three-way little battle. And then Barry came in to repair some early damage. I don't think he can get to the end. Might be able to actually. We'll have to see how they go. Not sure how much fuel they can get in there. Usually about 7 laps around here, I think. See how he goes. Alright, back to this battle here. As Axel's starting to close up to the back of Don again. Doing a lot of tow as they're going up the mountain here. So the treacherous corner, that one with the low downforce. Yeah, looks like AES is just giving Don a bit of room, but that's absolutely allowing Jared behind to close the gap. Let's jump on board Jared and see both of them in front then. Interesting approach to that one. They actually want to get right down into that, so I'm not sure why they're sitting so high there. AES is going to let Jared pass. I'll allow Jared now to put the pressure on Don and close up that gap. Barris just had an off track there, but looks like he's still going. Let's have a really quick gander at what happened there. Oh, look, just a little bit wide on entry there, but that's fine, no harm done. He's really trying to push the catch back up. He's got a fair bit of ground to make. And this was Jamie's off track before. Oh yeah, getting really... That was a good save, that one. And then Jared moments before that one. Same spot where Axel had a bit of a mishap. Making use of the brakes. Oh, Jared's had a big moment live. Has he saved it? Oh, he saved it, but he's got a lot of work to do again. Alright, we're back live with Jared again now. So he's got a lot of work to do again to catch back up to AES. As Joel Farley's now catching up to Dean Reddit with massive back straight. All on the run down the back straight here. Let's see if Joel can make a move. No, not enough room. It's too tight through here, too fast. He's got a good opportunity here now in the T1 though. Not much Dean can do about it. And Dean gives him the spot. Trying to play it safe around here. You definitely don't want to be battling when it's risky, but the GP circuit's definitely the place to be doing it. As we've got Don, Axel and Jared all battling here down the straight. Oh, Jamie's had a moment. Let's just jump on board with him quickly. Said he had a crash. Let's see what happened. T1. Might just be a bit of a half spin. Yeah, just half spin through the corner. Alright, back onto this battle here. Oh, as Don comes into the pits, so might be trying to get out of this pack. So this is an early stop. I don't think he had any damage, although his front right does look a bit pushed in. He doesn't have a meatball, so yeah, not sure what's going on there. The Scarver handicap? No. No handicap. He just chooses to start from the back there. Massive incident lap 1, so he's decided to retire from the race tonight. As we see Don come in. So Joel Farley's at the fastest lap of the race, 8:26.6. Might be able to tow Dean around here for a moment if Dean can stay nice and tucked in. The pair of them though are catching up to John Akers, so Janik is doing really well at the moment. I can't remember what their qualifying times were. I think it was a 29. So Joel has a massive toe advantage that time around. Like, Jared's had another moment. Real quick, what happened here? T1. Yep, easy to do. Alright, let's jump back on these guys. No, it's too hard to run handicaps in iRacing because you can't do it per car or per driver. You can only balance cars out. So to run a handicap, you'd have to get the driver to run a different car. Yeah, that's it. So it looks like Dean's fallen off a bit here a little bit. He's definitely trying to keep up. But he needs to run that toe the best that he can and maintain that gap. But Joel, 1.6 to Joel. I don't think he's in the toe there, but he's definitely got the confidence through a lot of these corners. Alright, let's have a real quick look at what happened to Don a moment ago. Looks like we're coming into T1. Yep, same mistake, T1. It's really catching a lot of drivers out, so I think they're not accounting for the extra speed or lack of grip that they've got through there. So back up front now, we're on with Dean Reddit in P3, chasing down Joel Farley in P2. And John Akers is still our leader. So Joel was definitely catching up in the last part of that. Or maybe he was catching up with the GP circuit. Because it was definitely right on his tail as they started out onto the mountain. So maybe John Axel's got a bit more confidence through here. As Axel's had a little bit of mishap, let's have a quick look what happened there. Oh, it's a bit quick over there. But he gets it back on track, no worries. Alright, back up front. Jump on Joel. What's happened to Greg? Oh, Greg's DNF. I've got no report on Greg. What happened? He's just disappeared. Alright, maybe he's had a netcode issue or something from the server and just dropped out. But I've got no incidents, so I'm not sure what's happened to him. His axle is currently a bit slow. Yeah, about here is where Greg dropped out, so not sure what's happened to Greg. Jared Eastman is starting to close this gap up again. What's that, Tim? Are you talking to Tim Hancock? Alright, so Jared's got a bit of work to do here to catch back up to Axel. He's definitely got the pace, but he just makes minor mistakes. So he just needs to work on that one. As Joel Farley's closed up into a second at the leader. So I'm not sure if John's made a mistake somewhere or if he's just backed off his pace a little bit. As Greg Levine still dropping down the order. So yeah, not sure what happened to Greg. Still showing that he's DNF, so I think that might have been a network issue. Jump on with Joel at the moment as he chases down the current leader, John Akers. Poor Jamie has found himself in no man's land. And then Barry's also sitting quite far back at the moment, but that's all going to change. They pitted early, so curious to know if he can get to the end or not. I'd assume that a Porsche Cup can do an hour on fuel, so with any luck, he'll be able to top up full and get to the end. And then when the pit cycles come around, he'll be able to get back in. There we go, tuck into that nice and tight. So he's going to get a really big toe here now, coming down the back straight. Should see a massive gain here, 0.8, 0.7. Half a second now. Yeah, that's huge. The speed difference will be incredible. Oh, can he get in there? No, he thinks better of it. So he's got to be within that half a second, I think, to make the overtake. Or to at least get up side by side and put the pressure on. Oh, they both come into pits together. At the end of lap 3, here comes Dean as well. Alright, so we've got 3 leaders coming in now.
Hi, John. Still all good, mate.
Which means we should see JB coming in as well. Unless he's been able to save some extra fuel by some miracle. No, here he comes. Alright, our front runners are all still sitting here in pits, topping up. This should get to the end. 33 minutes to go. 34 minutes to go left in the race. Alright, Joel's first one out the gate. John Akers and Dean are still in the pits. All together they leave. So that's interesting. We've got one car jumped out early and the other 2 left at the same time. So I'd be curious to see what happens here now as Axel and Jared both come in. So yeah, what a jump by Joel in the pits. I don't know if maybe he saved a bit of fuel being in the tow for so long. But yeah, he's gone from Q2, he dropped down to about P7, and now he's come back in the first place. Got himself a 7-second lead over John Akers. So I'm not sure if the Wright boys have maybe put in some extra fuel just to be safe. Maybe they put in an extra lap of fuel just to be safe. Maybe their data was telling them that it's right on the cusp of an extra lap. Not sure. As Barry Punter now sails on by and reclaims P5. Just ahead of Axel and Jared. I can hear Axel driving out there now. Jared's still sitting in the pits. Hey, hey, patrol guy. And off he goes now. So, pit stop times. We'll jump on this battle here. Pit stop times, we've got 46 seconds for Joel. 53 for John Akers, 51 for Dean Reddit. So they were still pretty quick. Jamie's was 56, Barry was 59, but he came in earlier. Axel was 52, so he's in line with Dean and John at the front. And then Jared Eastman, 1 minute. Don's was also just over a minute too, so you'll probably find that Don's dropped back down there a little bit. Greg Levine's still DNF. And Axel's just had a moment down the bottom of the hill. Let's just have a quick look what happened here. Need a better camera angle for this. Oh yeah, the hairpin again. So lots of fuel now, so the car's going to handle a lot differently. And so they need to account for that. Need to brake that bit earlier, move the brake bias, and get that car to pull up again. Alright, Dean's putting a lot of pressure on John Akers now. Something he wasn't able to do before, but now that he's caught back into the tow, he's able to keep up. We'll see if these two maybe work together to try and catch up back up to Joel Farley. So if I have a quick look at the season standings, we currently have John Akers leading the race, leading the series with 195 points, followed by Dean Reddit, 893 points. So if they switch places and finish where they are, switch places, I think they'll tie for the win. So that'll be pretty cool. And then Jamie Fleming, really close behind as well, 892 points. And then there's a bit of a gap back to Barry Punter in 4th place. So it's really tight at the top. If pretty much whoever wins tonight, out of John Akers, Dean Reddit and Jamie Fleming, will almost win the whole season. So yeah, Dean needs to make this move on John, and then him and John will tie for the win. Unfortunately, Joel missed a lot of this season. He's been away for quite a few weeks, so even though we have 2 drop rounds, we're still not able to capitalise and keep those points high enough. Where's he sitting? Joel's sitting P9 at the moment. So he's still doing quite well, top 10, even though he missed, I think, about 4 weeks of racing. Oh, a bit deep there on that one. Must be tricky, these cars around here, because I'm certain that they wouldn't be maintaining a consistent level of grip each time they come around. So each time they hit a corner, oh, Jared's had a moment, let's go and jump on board with him. Oh, he's still running off track there. And looks like Axel's just followed him off track as well. Alright, let's do a quick replay of what happened to Jared. Coming up the mountain. Just carrying a bit too much speed through there. And then I think Ilias might have copied him. This is quite a high speed corner, but you've got to really pull it up after that first right-hander. And he's just done monkey see, monkey do. Alright, but there's no harm, no foul. They'll keep going on. So Scar, Tim asked if you'll be doing the Pro Series Porsche Cup coming up. Looks like Scott Gamble's signed up for it. Oh, I can hear Axel's in the wall again. So a quick look what happened here now. Oh yeah, just getting that a little bit wrong there. Alright, so Dean's back and forth on John, but Joel's maintained that gap back to John, about 7 seconds. Joel did set the fastest lap, but that was in tow, so we'll have to see what a lap looks like once he's out of tow. The pace is around that 8:30 mark, depending on your confidence around here. Joel just flickers up on the screen there for a moment. Let's catch up and see what's happening with him. Let's tighten up our view a little bit. There we go. But he should just be cruising out front there. Jared, you can hear in the background, is having a moment. Might have just grazed the wall. Let's have a quick look what happened there. Just a little bit too quick. Good clean graze though, so off he goes. Alright, we'll jump back up front. We got Dean Reddit still chasing down John Akers, and he seems to have closed the gap quite a big here. Let's jump on board and see how he's travelling. Yeah, they're definitely a challenge. These cars are quite a unique car to drive with their braking style. In the way that you've got to be so heavy early on, but trail off so hard as you trail into the corner. And you've got to save that 5%. Always got to be ready for it to either not have enough grip or wash out a little bit, you know, patient on the throttle. But no, good fun car to drive, a real driver's car. Alright, 0.8. So we know that Dean won't be able to make the pass down this straight. But he will be able to catch back up to John Akers. You can see Joel Farley just off up in the distance up there. Looks like Dean might actually be pulling John back with a bit of negative toe. We often see that in the oval racing, where you can pull the car back by sitting back and pulling on them with your getting the toe off them. As we saw, Joel Foley made a big gap then. Maybe Joel Foley found a Team Red Line trick. Alright, as we head into T1 here, very tight T1, T2, back and forwards combo, and onto the GP circuit we go. Alright, it's Joel's just up the road, 8 seconds. Coming down the hill to the hairpin. Been a bit of a tricky corner for most guys. Yeah, just not getting the braking right, so you can see that Joel's got that braking pretty sorted. Oh, Dean's really closing up on the back of John here. Yes, it seems John's not overly confident in the GP circuit, as Jamie's just had a moment. Let's get live on him to see if he's still travelling. Yep, he's still cruising. So T1 again, it's caught Jamie out. Let's jump on, have a quick look what happened here. Yeah, seems to be catching a lot of drivers out this corner. Alright, let's get back on the live. Oh, Jared's just had a moment. No, I'm still travelling though. Alright, let's see what happened to him. A little bit too quick, a little bit too bouncy. Once you lose contact with that tarmac, you start losing speed. You can't pull the car up as efficiently. So yeah, got to keep that contact. All right, back up front, we've got Dean Reddit chasing down John Akers. So we'll probably see John Akers start pulling away again here now. This is where he's most confident. It's almost like John doesn't know the GP too well, but Dean is not as confident throughout the mountain, throughout the Nordschleife. Let's see if Dean or John get in the air here. No, looks like this car's pretty well planted. Yeah, plenty of opportunity to stay in the toe. You just got to watch that extra speed and make sure you wash it off before you tackle a corner like this one. Using lots of gears, so good front end brakes. Using the gears, downshift early. Get that car to pull up. If you move the bias back too far, you can't use that downshift as much, because it acts like a handbrake. Gets that pulled up nicely. Alright, cruising along, let's catch up and see how the drivers are going. So Jamie's cruising along. His nemesis tonight's been T1. He's in a bit of a no man's land at the moment, 46 seconds back behind Dean. So he's lost quite a fair bit of time there at some stage. I think that might have been the lap 1 incident. And then Barry, similar scenario, he got tangled up and he came in early and pitted. And that's dropped him stimming it way back. I'm not sure why he's so far back. He did have a spin on his outlap, a half spin, so I didn't expect him to still be this far. Good jump on Jared. He's having a bit of a moment just then. Just an off track. He's still cruising. And then just behind him is Ilias. Axel wasn't too confident to hit the Nurburgring combined, but he's doing really well tonight as Jared runs off track. Again, a little bit too much speed there. Drags a heap of gravel onto the track, so we'll have to see if that plays havoc for anyone. So I don't expect Axel to try and make an overtake anywhere here. He'll just coast behind, I'm pretty sure. Oh, gotta be careful. Alright, that wasn't a meatball, but that was quite a hard hit then. And then Don's still cruising behind. Yeah, quite a slow pit stop, so I'm not sure what's happened to him there. Might have taken on a full tank or something, just to make sure he gets home. But yeah, Don's cruising around pretty well. Alright, we get back up onto the battle for second. Alright, looks like Tim Hancock's come back out on track. So this will be less about points and just more about having a bit of fun around the mountain. So yeah, you can see here John Akers is starting to really pull away. He is a little bit close in the gap to Joel Farley, half a second there now over the last lap and a half. So there is hope there. We'll have to see how these laps pan out in lap time. Any little mistakes by Joel and these two will be able to catch right up. I believe we had a tie in the Porsche Cup Series last season too, between Joel Farley and Nathan Tapp, if I'm not mistaken. So it's interesting that that might be a bit of a common thing, which is pretty cool. We love to see good battles at the front for this championship. Oh, John goes very wide here, hangs onto it though. Dean's up the outside. Well, here you go. Season championships now all tied up. John's 0.8, so we know he can't get the pass done. And that's dropped these two back out, so they're nearly 8 seconds behind Joel. Well, this is what I said last time, so we'll see if that drops us back down again. Well, it seems to be able to catch a lot quicker this time. Or he's going to go for it. Nah, he checks out of it. It's pretty insane to go for that sort of move at this stage of the race. Alright, so Dean should be able to pull a bit of a gap here now. He seems to be a bit quicker through the GP part of it. Oh, John does have a look up the inside though. Oh, he's not there yet, so he can't make that move. Yeah, so they're about 7.5 seconds back from Joel at the moment. You can see him just up the road there. Very patient, very deep under braking. Get that nice wide entry into that hairpin. Little lift up here. Nice little cut there. That's Jamie Fleming's just had a moment. He's still going. Let's see where... T1 again, T2. Oh, a bit heavy on the throttle then. Oh, something's happened to Dean. No, John's just made the move there. So he must have got the better run out of the corner. Or as we head on to the oval, back out onto the Nordschleifer. I think John had to make that move there because it would have been quite tricky to get past Dean out in his first section. Couple of tricky corners, those ones with the elevation and the drop off. Oh, Axel's had a moment. Is he still going? He's still going. So just another T1 incident there. T1 seems to be catching down a lot of drivers tonight. You see Joel there just cruising off in the lead. Jump on board with Joel for a moment. Looking very comfortable. So his pace isn't there this lap, so you think that the tyres might be warming up and getting a bit hot. You can see the other boys just behind here now. Come around the same corner. Alright, we've got Jamie back here coming through here. Just about to come on the straight to the jump. That's Don, has had a crash. Let's see how he's travelling. On the GP circuit again. Sorry, I think that was the hairpin again. Yeah, I think Don's just not braking hard enough early enough. Let's jump on board. And then it's a bit too hard late. So that's definitely something Don needs to work on. The question is, does Dean have enough? He's definitely able to stay with him in the toe. But he's got to be within that probably 0.7, 0.6 of a second behind by the time he gets onto that back straight in order to have a chance to make a move on John. If he's still 0.8, 0.9 behind, he's not going to have the gap. And I wonder if John's aware of that at all. I wonder if John's done the calculations and knows where he needs to be. But really, as long as you focus on the exits, just really focus on getting away as cleanly as possible, even if they're closing up behind. A lot of these corners need nice and wide entries, just for the late apexes you have to take, because the corners aren't round like most tracks, don't have a common, like a consistent arc. A lot of these corners have got a very consistent arc where they tighten or loosen or just don't follow a single trajectory, as Joel has had a bit of a moment there off track, as you can see. Just have a real quick look what happened to Joel. So coming in through here. Oh, he got back on it, ready to go, but he just didn't have the grip. But managed to hold on to that pretty well. We'll jump back on with Dean here, so still 0.8 behind. Get down low on the carousel. Gotta be nice and tight in there. Keep your outside tyres inside the rib. And that maximises your grip. As Jarvis just had a moment. He's still going, so... Oh, and Barry, everybody's having moments. Looks like Barry's actually had a crash. Oh yeah, his time's dropping off. Let's have a real quick look what happened to Barry here. Up on the curbing. Oh, that's a full spin. Shouldn't be too much damage, should only be very minor. As we get back live with Barry. But he's got quite a margin of Jared behind, so he's pretty comfortable in P5. It's just whether or not he can close that gap to Jamie, because Jamie's also been making a couple of mistakes here and there. And his pace is 8:39 at the moment, so yeah, he's been making a few little mistakes, or maybe just cruising a bit. Dean's dropped off just a fraction off John here, but he's just got to stay within that probably 1.2 to keep that toe going. Because he gets big air off that one there. We'll probably actually see Tim Hancock catch up to these guys, no doubt. As we've got less than 10 minutes left in this race. Doesn't feel that long when you're doing big laps. But it's gone through pretty quickly, so we'll probably have one more lap after this one. As Joel's just coming onto the long straight now. And John Akers is 5.5 seconds behind, so they're definitely closing in, but they're not going to have enough track left to catch up unless Joel makes a mistake. And as we can see here, Dean is 1.2 back now. Don't think he's got a toe. 1.1, oh yeah, there he does. 1.1. 1.0. Okay, so he's just got the back of the toe there. So this will definitely help him to close that back up to John. But he's got to be careful here now. He's going to have a bit of extra speed. It's deceptively tight this corner.
For a second I thought it was going to get me white flag.
Alright, we'll jump on that. So it should be white flag this lap.
I'm guessing that counts as the difference in our pit stop.
Yeah, mate, I'd say so. We're still showing 1.1 laps worth of fuel.
So a bit of conversation happening out there about fuel. So it should be last lap. He crossed the line with less than 8:30, so should be last time around.
I just got to get away from Dean.
Yeah, it's tricky. You get a gap and then there's a big straight.
There you go, talking strategy amongst each other. Oh, Jared Eastman got himself a black flag. Might have hit the incident limit. So that's going to drop him back a little bit. He's going to have to do a drive-through on the last lap. Ah, no, correction, he hasn't crossed the line yet. So he'll be right, he'll do his drive-through here. That'll let Axel through, and then probably put him halfway between Axel and Don. As Dean is all over the back of John, trying to maintain that gap. So if they keep in this formation at the moment, John Akers will win the championship. Dean will become second, and Jamie third will hang on to third. As Barry's just had a moment. Quick look what happened to Barry, coming in the T1. Just a bit wide. Not sure what the actual incident was. Jared's had another moment there. What's just happened to him? Coming a bit too quick in through here again. Oh, big one. Waits for Axel to go through. Alright, so Jared's got a factor. He's got a drive-through. And he's got damage, so if he pulls up to fix damage, he won't clear his drive-through, so... needs to make sure he just keeps going all the way through. Yep, that's it, that should clear. As Barry's had a big moment. Where is this? Oh yeah, coming up through the quick left rider. So, oh, very wide on that one. Let's have a look at that from a different angle. Yeah, just fanging it up through there. Let's jump on board and just see what that looks like. Oh, wrong person. Yeah, that just let go, didn't it? Jared Eastman's had a crash. Oh, cooked tyres. Yep, good save though. Good save. And then Jamie's also had a moment. Looks like he's coming onto the North Schleifer. It's got a bit loose there and off track. Alright, let's jump back onto the battles. So Dean's still chasing down John Akers. Getting really close here as Jamie's having another moment there. Looks like he's still going. He's got himself an off track, so he's just run off track there and caught the course, and he's fixed it up already, so he's still going. Yeah, you can see the difference in confidence through some of these corners where some people are able to keep up. Jared's had another crash. Oh, this might be a big one by the looks of it. So he's got a bit of damage. Yeah, he's cooked his tyres. And that's allowed Don to make the pass on him.
Race control, can you confirm if I have no rear wing?
I confirm you have a wing. Alright, let's jump back up live here. Actually, let me make sure that transmitted. Yeah, just confirming. No, it's not transmitting. Bear with me one moment.
You're not coming through, Billy.
That would be why. All my stuff is... There we go. Confirm, Jared, you do have a rear wing. Looks like he's had a big moment here again. So yeah, hot tyres.
Confirm race control, doesn't feel like it.
Schrodinger's rear wing.
Alright, let's jump back on this battle here. As Dean is sitting really close to the back of John. Barry's had a slight moment there too as well. But we'll stick with these guys now. So we are on the final lap. These guys need to get themselves in. They have close up to Joel, so Joel's probably just backed off just to cruise to the end. Or if he's done what I do and backed off to try and do a cheeky finish and finish just in front of someone and give them a bit of hope, but not actually let them get close enough for a win. Dean's doing really well to maintain that half a second gap at the moment. It's exactly where he needs to be. Oh, as he gets a bit sideways there, but holds it well. Gearing is so important in these cars, and just going with the flow of the car, but not letting it get too far away from you. You're definitely going to slide them around a little bit, but yeah, just not let them get too far out of hand. So Jared's still struggling there. As Barry's had another moment. Barry's had a crash. Alright, let's have a quick look at that before these guys get onto the main straight. Oh, big curb. That's alright, should be able to keep that one going. That's a big doozy. Oh, John Akers. What's he done? Let's see what happened here. Into the carousel. Hopped out of the carousel. Oh, both of them came together. Big moment. And Dean runs away with it. John comes around. John's pretty safe in P3 at the moment. But he does have Tim coming up behind. Wow, what a huge ending. As we get Joel coming through for the final time. Congratulations, Joel, on a great race. Had a bit of a rough start there. Qualified in Q2. Didn't get the best of starts off the line and dropped down to about P7 or P8. Managed to avoid the bingle on lap 1 and just persevered. Well done, Joel.
Thanks for the season, everyone. I'm going to miss the interviews post-race, but congrats to John or Dean, whoever wins it.
And there we go. Dean Reddick finishes in P2.
Well done, Joel.
John Akers, P3. So I believe we have a tie. We have a tie for the season.
Burn out before the big area in your turn 1.
If it'll do it.
There we go. John crosses the line. Well done. We've got Jamie Fleming just coming through onto the back straight now, so I might announce these guys. Congratulations, Joel, on the win tonight. Very, very well done. In regards to the season championship, I believe John Akers and Dean Reddick have tied for overall season champion. Well done.
Thanks, buddy. Well done, Dino.
Well done, Joel. Thanks, Johnny Filligan, mate, and Jared for the season. Really fun.
Cheers, mate. Greatly appreciated you guys rocking up. And I believe that's 2 ties first in 2 seasons.
Wow, that's unreal.
All right, Jamie coming through the last couple of corners for the last
Was there
time.
not quality points as well?
There was qualifying points. I do forget that about the Porsche Cup Series. So yeah, so that means John Akers probably got the win.
Anyway, cheers, guys. I'm going to jump off.
As Jamie finishes his race. Well done, Jamie. Ooh, did he actually finish? I believe he did, yep. And then we've got Barry coming through. Last couple of corners. And a very busted up car that's had a bit in the wars, that's for sure. But he's put it home in P5. Well done, Barry. Congratulations. And Axel in the Triple Eight and the first of the VGA cars coming down. He's done really well tonight. Put it home in P6. Well done, Ilias. And then Don not far behind, cruising down the straight, bringing it home in P7. And then at the very back there we've got Jared Eastman, our season host. Thanks, Jared, for hosting this season. The guys have really enjoyed it once again. And it will be interesting to see if we did have a tie for a second time. Alright, Don comes through to take the checkered flag. Well done, Don. P7. And as we wait for Jared to come around, let's see if anyone's doing some burnouts anywhere. Let's see if Don will give us some. Here we go. So Jared seems to have a black flag again, but I'm not sure what that's for, so it'll just be what it is. Let's see if we get a better angle of this. There we go. We're still on the burnout marks there. We'll see if anyone else did some other burnouts. Alright, so to wrap up our season, we had Joel bringing home in P1. Congratulations, Joel. Great season, mate. Sorry, great race, I should say. Like I said, qualified in Q2. Had a bit of a shocking launch and dropped back to mid-pack and then brought himself back up to win the race. He had a, 6-second quicker stop than everyone else. So congratulations to Joel. And then Dean Reddit got the advantage over John, as John had a mishap in the final instances. Congrats on P2, Dean. And then I believe, so if qualifying points are applied, it means John Akers will take the win. And he's probably won by a couple of points in doing so. So John Akers, our season champion. Well done, mate. It's been a pretty good season. A lot of fun tracks this season. As we have Jared crossing the finish line for the end. There we go, P8 out of 12 races tonight. So well done. Alright, thanks everyone for coming along tonight. We appreciate having you all here. We see Jared do a massive finish. So new season kicks off not next week but the week after. It'll be on the week of starting June 24th, and that'll be round 1 of the rookie series, and then the Porsche Cup Series races on the end of the racing week on the Monday night. And we're looking to have probably, it'll be an F4 season I think next season for our rookies, and we'll throw in some Formula Vs or Race 1600s just to give a bit of variety and something a free option. And then Porsche Cup's adding the Ferrari 296 challenge car, so that should be a pretty good combo there for a multi-class series. Alright, thanks everyone for coming along, and we'll catch you all next time.